there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi. Ooh, let me read that real quick. After I finished watching Garden of Sinners, how was Toko there? I like seeing Toko there. She was nice. Like, oh my goodness, Toko was so cool. So very, very helpful. And then herself in Witch in the Holy Night. Like, oh my goodness. Like, Toko, freaking Toko, you punk. Like, I want to fight her myself. Hey, hello, hello. Oh wait, don't mind me, I gotta adjust my fans real quick. There. All good. All is well. But man, speaking of FGO, I was kind of hoping that today's special fight would have been earlier, but no, it just started, so boo! Oh well. It should be like 2 hours, so I can probably fight later. But if I miss it, I miss it. For now, Pramonix. What a tease. Basic info, codename Pramonix. Gender female, combat experience half a year. Oh wow, only half a year. Place of birth, Kjerag. Date of birth, February 13. Race, feline. Height, 161 centimeters. Infection status, medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam, physical strength normal, mobility normal, physical resilience standard, tactical acumen excellent, combat skill standard, Originium arts assimilation outstanding. Profile: Pramonix is a Carlin Saintess born in Kjerag, the leader of the entire religion of her homeland. She uses the holy bell given to her by the gods to summon the power of wind and snow. She came to Rhodes Island by secret means, and the post she holds as well as how long she's held it are both confidential. Clinical analysis: imaging tests reveal clear normal outlines of internal organs, and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be not infected. Cell originium infusion rate 0%. Operator shows no signs of infection at this time. Blood crystal density 0.11. This operator has not been active in zones with large concentrations of originium. Archive File 1. The Carlin Saintess, the Enlightened One, and the Praised One. All these titles belong to Pramonix and Pramonix alone. Wow, she gets 3. As the supreme leader of the entire religion of Kjerag, she has a series of special privileges. Even her older brother, nominally Kjerag's most senior official, Silverash, must bow to her in public. She is honored, perfect, and divine. She brings glory to Kjerag, yet nobody knows that in her heart she is suffering. Archive File 2. The ceremony for the canonizing of the new saint is sacred but brutal. After the current saint passes away, girls of the appropriate age all head to the shrine where a saint is chosen. Only the girl hit by the first... Really? This is how it goes? Only the girl hit by the first drop of water from the thawing ice obtains the right to be the saint. Interesting. So that's the ceremony. Wow. Afterward, the chosen one takes the trial bell and sets out from the shrine. They follow Heaven's Road up the mountain to the residence of the gods. Once they hang the trial bell upon its hook there, the trial is over. En route, it is customary for the girl to nod her head every 3 steps and ring the bell every 5. Ugh. Those who break this custom lose their chance to become saints. The new saint is born from the thawing snow on the 2nd day. Because Heaven's Road is long and winding, the trial is very severe. Some give up immediately, others collapse on the side of the road. Only those who have solid constitution, strength, piety, and the protection of the gods have the chance to become the saint. Oh my goodness! Okay, for the first part, Kjerag probably has a big choice for that. She's like, you know what? You can be my companion. Have a little drop of water. And now the rest is up to you. Archive File 3. Aside from the elders of the Phi-MD court, Pramonix also has to deal with the everyday affairs of the clergy. Hello, hello. visiting statesmen, conducting all manner of religious ceremonies, and deciphering countless scriptures. There are so many tasks that she is sometimes overwhelmed with pressure, to the point of being unable to breathe. Because of this, she has to come up with clever methods to relax. It is then that she unloads her burden and reveals her true nature. Archive File 4. If she hadn't become Saint, Phi-MD might still be at the old Silver Ash residence, fiddling with her favorite silks, drinking tea, or reading books into the afternoon. However, her brother made a difficult decision, and they reached a compromise. The two have since broken off contact with one another. Even their blood relation cannot make up for the disappointment Phi-MD feels towards Silver Ash. Apart from polite greetings in public, the two haven't had a conversation since. Promotion record: Phi-MD's bell was given to her by the gods. According to legend, its sound can summon ice and snow strong enough to extinguish flames and wrap the world in cold. Sheesh! In reality, it does not live up to such exaggerated stories, but is still a much stronger weapon than most ordinary staves. It should be noted that when ringing the bell, it must be accompanied by a prayer. If the bell does not sound, then its wielder will be encased in ice. If a mistake is made in the prayer, the arts will be cast upon the bell wielder herself. Essentially, no one but Phi-MD is capable of using the bell. Well, no wonder why her Originium art simulation is outstanding. You need to be outstanding to use that freaking bell. Literally, only one person can use it. And it be she. Now for Beyond the Snowy Mountain. Boop. Her first time leaving Kjerag, but not her first time looking outwards. Okay, we're here. By Kjeragander.
By Kjeragander.
I'm very sorry, but I've gathered you here today not for the study of scriptures, but for more mundane concerns. A Cashmere's trade representative has requested a meeting with the Saintess of Karlan. May I have your thoughts?
Preposterous! How can an outsider be allowed to meet the Saintess on a whim? Moreover, Karlan will not tolerate outsiders treading upon her land.
True. If we welcomed secular matters into the Phi-MD court, I fear it would unnecessarily disturb the peace of all present. But as Kjerag's administrator, declining the request would inevitably harm our diplomatic efforts.
It was always in Theodos's role to discuss business with outsiders. This is the wish of a mere businessman. Moreover, wanting to chat with the Saintess is inappropriate in itself.
I'm afraid you're wrong. The General Chamber of Commerce's sway in Kashmirage cannot be belittled. On top of which, I'm worried they will leverage their developed economy and enormous capital to pressure us into submitting to unfavorable contract terms. A GCC representative being sent to Kjerag signifies a desire to partner with us on multiple fronts. More importantly, this requested audience shows obvious intent far beyond the commercial. A contract with Karlan Trade was only the beginning. And Theodos is the only leader of the Silver Ashes after all. The weight of his promises and guarantees could never rival mine.
If you should personally meet an outsider, Saintess, such action alone would be weighty enough.
My view exactly.
So have you resolved to bring an outsider into the Phi-MD court?
No, Karlan is still Karlan, and the Phi-MD court is sacred ground within Kjerag. I would not wish to displease Kjeragander. Thus, I would ascend the mountain to receive Kashmirish's representative.
That's descending merely to bend to an outsider's rudeness. This is beyond improper. Even our own devout citizens are hard-pressed to glimpse the Saintess. Why should this faithless outsider be allowed to meet her so casually?
I agree that he should be made to realize what an honor such a meeting is, so I will require that he attend with the worshippers at the upcoming ceremonies to pay respects to Kjeragander. As for Kjerag's people, perhaps they will not understand their Saintess's decision this time, but eventually they will come to accept this shift. As their connection with the outside world grows more intimate by the day, I can only presume more such political figures will seek meetings here, and I must assume responsibility in kind. Furthermore, I invite all elders to weigh this matter too. No doubt you're all aware of the potential consequences of indulging in Theodos in his business. In exchange for industrial technology, Karlan Trade has signed away many unfavorable contracts for Kjerag. This much is certain. I'm not criticizing him. He was powerless to do anything else. However, my hope is that circumstances will gradually become more advantageous for us over time. Surely, Kjerag who protects our people would wish for this too.
Ensiotis. If not for him, Kjerag wouldn't be so... Now, most people don't spend their lives looking out over snowy mountains. We're all old fuddy-duddies by now. What's the harm in letting the youngsters live more comfortable lives?
I like the kindly elder.
However, Saintess,
I'm afraid you have a difficult road ahead of you. That's fine by me. Between the care of my maids and the protection of the Silver Ashes soldiers, I have little to worry about. And you've no need to fret over the ordeals of the conference table. Kjerag will bless your people. Rhodes Island operator.
Phew, this place is freezing. I can't remember the last time I went somewhere I could see my breath. Man, I just wanted to see some snow. If I knew this place was so freaking chilly, I wouldn't have applied for Kjerag fieldwork.
My dude, we have the opposite issue. It is hot in here. I'm starting to sweat. You know, I'm gonna turn my fan on real quick. Okay, I turned my fan on. I also have some iced coffee. Because I need to cool off a bit. It's pretty much always summer here too. It's always humid as well. Which is a pain. I want slightly cooler weather. Yeah, a fan to blow around all the Misaki particles.
At least I'm just here to meet someone, and HR said I can call it off if they don't show up by 4 p.m. Applying for post and then missing the appointment? Who does this guy think he is? Might as well check the file. Pramonix, derived from the first snow, chilling name too. Those clothes look pretty snug though. Whatever. I'll go ask if they sell any heat patches around here.
38 degrees Celsius for you. Ooh, that is hot.
Hey sir, do you stock any heat patches? Yes, coming... Heat? What now? I didn't quite catch that. You must be a tourist from afar. You want some nice warm tea, and I'm guessing. It's pretty cold here, no? Some tourists say that they could freeze to death. Others say it's nothing special. I'll pour you some tea while you take a look around.
I'll take tea.
Okay. Phew, this place sure does have everything. Never seen any of it before either.
And yeah, it sounds like it's your first time contacting Rhodes Island.
Here, get some tea for now. This is what keeps us going when we cross the snowfields here. Oh sure, thanks. So, where are you from? Rhodes Island. Rings a bell, but I can't put a face to the name, as it were. Tourists are always coming and going, you know. The person in that portrait strikes me as a kind of familiar, though. Whoever knew the outside world was so gosh darn huge. I have a mind to see it myself once I save up enough cash.
I feel for you, Mr. Shopkeep. Traveling is fun, but so expensive.
Let me take that photo out again. First time in Kjerag, or a repeat visitor. We do sell souvenirs. Sorry, but can I ask a weird question? Do a lot of people in Kjerag look like the one in this picture? What in the... This is our Saintess, you know. We'd be in trouble if there were any lookalikes running around. Times were, the Saintess only had a few portraits, each hung in front of a clan's home. Their subjects would go in person to pray to it. If I'm honest, no one ever knew whether the portraits looked anything like the Saintess. Commoners like us only get to see her once a year at most, at the ceremony. And that's from across a sea of people in the square, one glimpse a mile away. The chance to hear the Saintess's bell, to receive Kjeragander's blessings, that was enough for us. But times changed, tourists started coming in, and Sir Otis learned an awful lot of outsiders were curious about the Saintess, so he called on everyone to make all these portraits, embroideries, and statues.
Oh my goodness, he's selling merch of his sister. Oh, that's kind of awkward.
Of course, he'd make sure the portraits were accurate too. After all, he gets to meet the Saintess herself all the time. I mean, she's his own little sister, so of course he knows her well, yeah?
I wonder how picky she was about how I ended up looking for the merch. It's like, okay, brother, if you really want to sell merch of me, change this, and this. How freaking dare you, brother?
Ha, I never knew. So hypothetically speaking, what would happen if the Saintess left Kjerag? Huh? How would she? She hardly ever comes down from Karlan. And when she does, it's because something big's happened. Hey boy, you'd never believe me if I told you Kjerag is blessed by Kjergander, would you? None of you tourists do. I'd say I'm closer to agnostic. Now listen here, my business is only around thanks to Kjergander's miracles, brought about by the Saintess. I'd barely opened my shop last year when they started fighting. They being... the three clans, wouldn't you know it? Strife and turmoil. They didn't just fight either. The worst part was when they blew up the railroad.
Ah, blowing up the railroad.
No railroad, no tourists, no freight. I put all my savings I'd scraped together into this, and now my business was frozen over. What's a man to do?
Just oof. Oh, you're imagining a funny scene. The NCOs made some of them handmade. Oh, that would be funny. I bet he'd have Matterhorn help him out too, since Matterhorn's probably good at arts and crafts as well. If Matterhorn can cook and clean, he's probably good with other things as well. I'm just imagining like him trying to learn how to embroider. Embroidering the Saintess's portrait.
So I prayed day after day, begging Kjergander to show me a way. And sure as sure, my prayers came true. The Saintess ascended, Kjergander created a miracle, and nobody dared to try anything else. But Kjergander... So Jess, I'm just curious here. What's the Saintess like in person? Is she, easy to get along with? Listen to yourself. The Saintess is the recipient of Kjergander, so she'd have to be the forgiving sort. If I weren't so sure that Kjergander herself is a forgiving god, how would I find it in me to even answer such an offensive question? Yeah, sorry about that. Thanks, sir. I'll take one of your cloaks. Just a normal one, please. It doesn't need a Saintess embroidered on it.
Oh gosh, there really is embroidered cloaks?
Normal, thanks.
Nah. I want the full Saintess. I want the full Saintess merch. One of everything, please. Oh, I love that. It's been such a pleasure meeting with you. But I'm sorry, I'm afraid I must cut this short. The Saintess's daily meditation is soon, and I cannot neglect it.
No. I'm the one who should be sorry for disturbing your routine. Please, do as you always do. To be honest, I wasn't actually expecting to get to meet the Karlan Saintess on this visit.
I'm more than happy to show myself, given Kazimier's interest in mutually beneficial exchange with Kjerag. And I imagine that for the Kazimier's General Chamber of Commerce, successfully reaching Kjerag's Saintess is itself a form of provocation.
Meaning?
Before too long, the Adeptus Sprawiedliwi, Kazimierz will attempt to contact Kjerag as well.
You're quite familiar with us. I assume you would welcome such a development then.
This is but a necessary step in Kjerag's foreign outreach. If I had to say, I can only hope the Adeptus Sprawiedliwi's representative will be as amicable and sincere regarding mutual benefit as you are. I can see that too. See the doctor wearing the Saintess embroidery clothes on Rhodes Island, coming to greet her, in the hopes of getting along with her. And probably using it as a catalyst to get her out there.
You flatter me. If future dealings between Kjerag and the KGCC will have the support of the Saintess, I see nothing but smooth sailing ahead.
May Kjergander bless you. Oh dear, it's almost 4 p.m. already. Thank you for making this journey, Saintess. An outsider was so blessed to speak audience with you, and not only did you forgo criticism, you made an exception to meet him. You are truly generous. We at Karlan Trade are deeply ashamed that we could not settle the matter ourselves, forcing you to be personally involved. We will strive to ensure no such offense to Kjergander occurs ever again. Please don't mind it. The Saintess is Kjergander's chosen envoy after all. It's only right for me to be present for diplomatic affairs. She is forgiving, and descended the mountain in following her decree. Yes, may we be grateful for Kjergander's blessing. The procession of burden beasts is ready outside. Our Silver Ash soldiers will see you back to the Vine Beat Court. That won't be necessary. I have other arrangements, and I'd rather they not wait for me in the snow. I worry that Sir Ensiotis will reprimand us for our etiquette and neglecting the Saintess. Ensiotis, Kjerag does not place blame, and nor should her people. The Saintess's daily meditation awaits. Please go and return. Very well, my apologies. May Kjerag bless you. Phew, finally over. I need to hurry to where we agreed to meet. Ensiotis is so annoying, choosing this moment to mess up my plans. If anyone else tries to stop me, forget the excuses. I'll just freeze them on the spot. Girl. In any case, nobody would ever guess where I'm going, not even him. They just want to keep me shut away in the Vine-Beak court again. Indeed, it's time for the Saintess to do her homework. But for now, I'm just Enya. Oh wait, no, for now I'm Praminix.
I have other matters I must attend to on this ascent, beyond meeting the Kashmir's representative. For the following half-month, I must regrettably ask that all affairs of the Vine-Beak court be entrusted to the elders. Was this letter truly left by the Saintess herself? We've seen her annotating the scriptures for so many years, I think we can recognize her handwriting. It seems she's had this in mind for a while now. This is an outrage, I tell you, an outrage! If it were known that she has not merely ascended, but went missing for half an entire month, what of the dignity of the Vine-Beak court? The Saintess herself? Kjerag may yet bring her fury upon us all. Now, the Saintess is the one who receives Kjerag's decree. Should she say that she permits it, then we can only trust in her.
Well, yeah, of course. Of course Kjerag is gonna be like, heck yeah, I'm gonna go with you. Time to go to Rhodes Island. Woohoo! Oh gosh, she's like Megumi in Konosuba, instead of explosion, it's a blizzard avalanche. Oh gosh, you gotta protect her while she casts her arts. Eee. Oh man. Until she returns, you must assert that the Saintess is meditating indoors and is not taking visitors. Oh, Enya, though. The child's always had her own opinions. Whatever she's decided to do, I'm sure she has her reasons. Hello. When has she ever failed to win us over, after all?
Enough. I more or less decided how we're going to handle visitors. Head in and take the second alley from the restaurant selling stew. Should be here. It'll be 4 o'clock in 5 minutes. Still don't see anyone, huh? Let me just check the photo again. Not that I mistake the Carlin Saintess for anyone else, though. Man, I bet this alley is the kind you enter on foot and leave on a stretcher.
Don't turn around.
Whoa! I surrender. I'm just a tourist. I've got no money on me. I'm estranged from my family, and you won't get anything out of killing me.
Shh, quiet. Who are you?
I just said I'm a tourist.
Company?
Rhodes Island, a pharmaceutical firm, principally treating neuropathy. Probably not a great market presence here.
You better not whip that knife out. If you stab the Saintess, the charges alone would crush you.
Huge apologies, Saintess of Carlon, but your gander. I beg you not to visit her wrath upon me.
No harm, no foul. As agreed, I'm here to lend my aid to Rhodes Island. I see you even learned the words of praise we always use in Kjerag.
Phew, you scared the living daylights out of me. I just said whatever holy words came to mind. And now I'm even more scared that I nearly pulled a knife on you.
No, but see, even if you recognize me as a Saintess, obviously anyone from Kjerag would too, right? So this man all wrapped in black wasn't from Rhodes Island, but some other weirdo, and they saw me, then wouldn't there be rumors about the Saintess running around on her own? So I had to approach him behind and confirm your identity first.
This is not what I expected from the Saintess everyone's always talking about.
But I'm Praminix, not the Saintess. It's normal that we're nothing alike, right? And just so you know, if you ever call me Saintess aboard Rhodes Island, I'll freeze your mouth shut. Thanks, ma'am.
Haha, okay. Well, it just hit 4. If you were any later, I might have already left.
Oh? But I've got a whole pile of people that still want me here. Who knows what trouble waits us on the way back?
Right, I heard the Saintess doesn't get to descend whenever she wants.
But if an ambassador comes calling, what choice does she have? That's why before Char went to Rhodes Island, I asked her to make a quick detour to speak to a Cashmere's rep visiting Kjerag. Through her, I made a little suggestion. And so a few days later, news of his request to meet the Saintess was reported to the Phi-MD court.
You worked with him to get down the mountain?
But not just for fun, of course. Without this opportunity, outsiders wouldn't even know Kjerag had a Saintess, let alone that she was so willing to meet them. They think we were only Carlon trade. Heh, if Enciotas had his way, then that just might...
Wait, I thought Enciotas was your...
Come to think of it, I've never left Kjerag before.
Whoops, guess that's a touchy subject. Yeah, I never left Victoria before I boarded Rhodes Island either. Good thing we've got chefs from all over Terra. You'll never go hungry at least. But still, it's hard not to get homesick. Regional specialties just aren't the same as your family's home cooking.
Have you ever been back then?
Where'd that come from? I'm infected, so I wouldn't be welcome there anyway. Can't go home even if I wanted to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just a little curious since the most I've met were people who came home from abroad. One spent years outside of Kjerag, and by the time he came back, I didn't recognize him one bit.
There's a kicker. I'm guessing he was young, and then he got all grown up in the blink of an eye, right?
Exactly. But he didn't just get taller. His shoulders got broader too, and his way of thinking was completely different. Hardly anyone used to leave Kjerag, so I always wondered what it was like out there. Just what was it he saw, you know? And if every person who left would be changed just as much. Let's get a move on. I'm dying to get to Rhodes Island and see Char again.
Sure, let's go. Oh yeah, when someone told me you were the Saintess, I picked up this cloak for you. Put the hood up and it'll cover your face. That'll keep anyone from noticing you at a glance.
Wow, you're very thoughtful. Could you hold my book for a moment? I'll put it on now.
Sure, a brief history of the Battle of the Four Emperors.
Oh, the doctor lent me that book. My room is still piled up with what the doctor gave me for a light reading. I'm planning to return this one once I'm done. And we can talk about the rest another time. Speaking of which, I suppose I've never actually met the doctor. I hope they won't make me do any work. This is supposed to be a vacation after all. A vacation! Oh my goodness, vacations with Rhodes Island go hand in hand. Yeah, such great vacations. Like the vacation when we went to Kjerag for the first time and Enciotas made us work. I mean, vacation, yes.
Operators are supposed to work at Rhodes Island though. Ah, whatever. Here's to a pleasant holiday for you.
Yeah, no work at all, totally. That'd be so crazy. Knitting of a future. A fireplace tirelessly burns away in the mediation room lit by crepuscular rays. Generations of Kjerag saintesses sat here deep in thought upon deciphering their ancient scriptures, digesting the ideas and their meaning to the people of the snow realm. Enya. Enya awakens from her slumber, wipes her mouth, and touches her warm cheeks heated by the fireplace. She flashes an embarrassed smile. Sorry, Char. Enciota's head of the Silver Ash was just here. Now to see me? No, he had only a few words of blessing for the Saintess and asked me to deliver this to you. Enya takes a small, delicate bell with intricate engravings for the maid. She lifts the thing and gently shakes it, filling the room with a pleasant and melodious ringing. He called it a gift for the Saintess, a product of the factories now operating in Silver Ash territory. There are many more such bells, hanging in the fields down below. Enya fixes her gaze on the gift. She fully understands Enciotas' meaning. When she was a child, he joined her in making bells from the scrap iron discarded by their father's factories. They hung the bells together with Encia in the vast fields, waiting for the wind to ring them. Would you kindly sew it for me, along with the other gifts from before? She hesitates for a moment before stopping the maid. I recall something in the bottom of the cabinet at my bedside. Do you please bring it to me, thank you. The maid returns with a half-finished scarf, clearly made for a man. The soft threads intertwine, the fabric thick, and the needlework flawless. What is done can be described as no less than perfect. This must be. I began making this for Enciotas while he was away in Victoria. I intended to finish it and give it to him when he returned. For various reasons, it has remained incomplete. You've kept it with you all these years. You still hold a glimmer of hope for him? Char, Over the course of my life as a saintess, I've read all the scriptures in the sanctuary. The texts document 1,000 years of Kjerag's history. And yet, there's one question that scriptures do not appear to answer. And what is that? How to knit. Enya falls into silence. She recalls a time long ago when her father sat by the window, knitting scarves for his children. Sunlight bathed his face, her brother was practicing his swordsmanship outside, and her sister was pursuing a book of mountain landscape paintings. She quietly watched by her father's side, one needle at a time, committing it to the deepest part of her memory. This is how she learned to knit. The texts contain plenty of knowledge, but there are some questions they will never answer. Or perhaps she already knew the answer to her knitting question, her family questions, her questions about the future. Tomorrow's a tri-clan council, yes? Indeed. The other two clans are likely to unite against Clan Silverash. I do wonder how Enciotas will respond. No matter how he does, in the end, the matter will no doubt fall to me. Are you so certain? He's a Silverash, as am I. Enya punctuates her statement by standing up, startling her maid. She uses all her strength to throw open the heavy curtains. For the first time in 1,000 years, sunlight floods the dim room. She stands in the light, needles dancing between her fingers. The new thread merges with that already woven. She continues her needlework, not for any man in particular, but for the future the scarf represents. The children of Clan Silverash each walk their own paths. Dang though, she learned how to knit just by watching her dad. Papa skills. And now for... Would next be Aurora? I'm assuming Aurora, or would it be Kjerag? Like, either will be fun. But now let me sip some more coffee. Delicious iced coffee that's no longer icy. Okay, Kjerag then Aurora. Yum. Kjerag. Basic info. Codename Kjerag. Gender female. Combat experience none. Place of birth Kjerag. Date of birth December 5th. Race undisclosed. Height 165 centimeters. Infection status. Medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam. Physical strength normal. Mobility standard. Physical resilience standard. Tactical acumen excellent. Combat skill standard. Originium art simulation flawed. Profile. Head maid to Kjerag Saintess, Enya Silverash, also known as Operator Praminix. Joining Rhodes Island as a delegate of the Saintess. Responsible for a great deal of connective matters in Praminix's secret visits to Rhodes Island. Extremely keen on the operator life, presently active as a caster operator in all manner of missions. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests reveal clear normal outlines of internal organs, and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be uninfected. Cell originium assimilation, 0%. Blood originium crystal density, 0. What do I say? She doesn't really hide it, and she went so far beforehand as to tell me that her body probably isn't like the layman's. So I'm not overly surprised by this? Although, if I could just have a little discussion with her, get her to undergo regular inspections in my office, let me draw a little blood, that's all. It wouldn't impact her in any real way. Warfarin, ask yourself, Kelsey. I don't blame Warfarin for wanting to do research. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. 0 for the blood originium crystal density? Archive File 1. Though her appearance seems rather youthful, Kjerag often strikes a sense of seniority into people. Primarily, this is because she has a rather subconsciously old-fashioned way of looking at certain things, and not in a way that would turn off people of modern thought, but in a there are people who still think like this way. Moreover, she's exceptionally naturally caring of those around her, and operators who have been on missions with her line up to test, they felt like it was being on a mission with a family elder. Very strange, but not too bad either. Combined with what the doctor picked up in Kjerag, Kjerag's true identity may be far more complex than the Saintess's head maid. Just as Dr. Kelsey says, Of all those of her kind still alive, she may as well be the easiest one to get along with. Archive File 2, compared to Praminix, who has to go out of her way to make her own free time to leave Kjerag and come to Rhodes Island on vacation, Kjerag, as her head maid, clearly has much more liberty over allotting her own time. Praminix may not stop over at Rhodes Island for long throughout the course of a year, but Kjerag seems to stay aboard so long as she wishes it, likely because she simultaneously has a duty as a contact bridge between Rhodes Island and the Saintess Enya. Though as far as Rhodes Island is concerned, at least initially, we had no expectations of such contact. Before Praminix first visited Rhodes Island, Kjerag didn't actually shy from meeting with any others from Kjerag, not even avoiding showing up in the same place as Silver Ash when he visited. Of course, both Silver Ash and her are obviously people who know the limits. Essentially, Kjerag has never given anyone a very clear sense of being the surrogate of the Saintess, but more pertinently, she seems to take a lot more joy in the operator lifestyle than many others. Moreover, she has a full understanding of Kjerag. Even the travel handbooks issued by Carlin Trade don't know as much as she does, and in her vivid explanations, plenty of operators have gained a more profound comprehension of what kind of place Kjerag is. Archive File 3. When Kjerag applied for Saintess Enya's interim collaborative operator status on her behalf, Rhodes Island was thoroughly hesitant. Firstly, Saintess Enya was already nominally Kjerag's leader, and Rhodes Island's policy has always refrained from having direct ties to any political entity. Secondly, before that, her elder brother, Ensiotis, had already become a Rhodes Island interim collaborative operator, Silver Ash. If Enya and Ensiotis' relations weren't apparent by the end of the Doctor's journey to Kjerag, then they were crystal clear by the time Kjerag handed her application in. The siblings' reconciliation had already turned out as a false start. They chose their own respective positions and hence simply acted on them, nothing more. And Enya still decided to join Rhodes Island, even after knowing the basis of our and Ensiotis' relationship. We're hard-pressed to believe her objective really was as simple as Kjerag claims, and she wants to give herself a moment of reprieve from the bustle of government affairs and reunite with her sister. Or perhaps this truly is her mind. But given her identity, just the slightest carelessness and Rhodes Island would become another battleground for her and Ensiotis' game, even if that's not what she wants. Hello. But in the end, Rhodes Island still approved of her application. After all, taking a step back, Kjerag joining Rhodes Island as Enya's surrogate already gave rise to ties between us and Enya, and refusing it this time would be like sticking our heads in the sand. In another regard, Rhodes Island has always been capable of maintaining its own position, and as Enya and Ensiotis are both willing to accept Rhodes Island's terms, acting as operators under certain restrictions, they would have to honor Rhodes Island's policy in that case. At Rhodes Island, she is Operator Praminix, and Ensiotis is Operator Silver Ash, with nothing on top. Oh, you recognize the voice actor for Kjerag? Aya Hisakawa. Speaking as a bystander, I'm very happy Enya and Ensiotis have separately made their choices. The answers they've submitted are both brilliant, and I have high hopes for the future. But I'm no more than an observer in the end. I'm Enya's head maid. I've seen her anger, bewilderment, and tears. During the snowcap incident, I could say I couldn't interfere in the process of their giving their answers, so I'm not willing to directly act. In reality, if I really can't avoid it in the end, I'll act to save Enya. But what about the future? Will I just fold my arms and watch them too? Doctor, to tell the truth, I don't think I can do that. That's one big reason I came here, Doctor. These siblings make their own choices, and the barrier crossed between them will grow larger and larger. But given you could conclude the snowcap incident, so I trust that you also have the ability to find them another way in the future. Doctor, you're going to help me, aren't you? Ooh, she plays Moonlight in Heartcatch Pretty Cure. Oh, she's the replacement voice actress for Bulma. Ooh. Archive File 2. Archive File 4. Oh my goodness, it's not 2, it's 4. I can read. Archive File 4. Doctor, you should be able to guess who I am. Am I Kjeragander? Or perhaps... an existence very intimate to her. You find it slightly boring if I personally told you, so I'll let you imagine. After all, it's not important in the end, is it? At least, I personally feel it isn't. When she was born, she thought there was only the snow-capped mountain between heaven and earth, and the people living on the snowfields, and she automatically felt close to those people. She had never left Kjerag before, and she only knew a land by that name, and was only acquainted with the people who lived upon it. The Kjerag people believed that they were relying on her, but in actuality, wasn't she relying on them too? Ooh, she also played Sailor Mercury and Sailor Moon. Did thinking of having to bear the people's hopes terrify her in turn? Had confronting the way in which things developed left her at a loss? Did realizing the people held to faith and ceased to walk on cause a regret? Who was she? In all honesty, what this question should be asking is, what was she, and what did she represent? My answers are, she was born of Kjerag's people, and she stands for what once happened, but she doesn't know what is happening, nor what will happen. Kjerag's future has never been in her hands, and should not be in her hands. But if so, what course should she follow now? Why would she be born into this great land? If protecting Kjerag is not her calling, then what meaning is there in her life? This answer she wishes to find. Promotion record. The doctor has determined, though Kjerag hasn't explicitly stated it, she clearly possesses some form of high speed, even instantaneous motion ability. Otherwise, her elusive and fleeting movements become impossible to explain. Kjerag doesn't hide this, and she has given a definitive reply. I can indeed appear wherever I want within Kjerag's borders, but I can't do that outside of them. Aside from that, she has also shown herself to have some ability of mental suggestion, able to make others not consider her conspicuous, and that she's relied on this ability to lead her a long life in Kjerag without being suspected. Her openness actually deepens Rose Island's confusion. In the end, this clearly doesn't fall under any Originium arts. However, she and Nyan should be of the same sort. After all, the first time she saw Nyan, her stunned look left a deep impression on us. Nyan seems to take a fair liking to her as well, frequently showing up solicited by her chef's table. Frequently showing up solicited by her chef's table. Further, compared to Nyan's recent rejecting abilities, her own could be called so much as immature, which inevitably piques greater curiosity in their true identities, as well as their race's mode of life. I didn't expect you to be hanging out with Nyan. Now I want Kjerag to star inside of Nyan's films. All she cares about. Boop. Silly you. And this family of silver ashes too, for tormenting you so. And now sip more coffee. I should just finish this. Okay, let me put my cup on the ground. Coffee. Hey, been to the printing house now that they refurbished it? No, I haven't. What about it? I went with someone to see yesterday, and it blew my mind. Everything in there is brand new, and the sheer amount of space, nothing like the crappy little place it used to be. Look, the manager gave me a sample. Look at the print quality now. Oh wow, this paper. And the type is so detailed. How did they get this good? Right? It pumps me up just knowing whatever we write, they're turning into books. Really? What a blessing. Think how out of date their place used to be. Almost unusable. You're telling me? And the manager's thrilled too, says they'll chew right through it, no matter how much we ask to print. We better not fall behind then. We don't want to waste printing this good with bad writing. I'm here. Sorry, the kitchen was a little short-handed this morning. Gosh. Hi there, Char. You should hear yourself, though. Aren't you headmaids busy enough? You shouldn't have to go to all this trouble for us. We'll be fine. Oh, but I should. I wouldn't ask Los Saints for this job. I'd be furious at myself if I were sloppy. If I was sloppy. Plus, she has a lot of interest in the Kjerag guidebook. It's part of how the outside sees our lovely place, you know? We were you're saying, ooh, doesn't it just feel like Kjerag gets a little better every day these days? Our crew can't be falling behind now. Is there another Tri-Clan Council meeting today? Yes. They can't help it, Victoria's position is a major hassle. My, so we're finally reaping what Inciota sowed over there. At this point, it's all we can do to think on our feet. Oh, Char, there's something I want us to discuss. Yes? I'd like to make an appointment with her. Char, hello, are you in there? Oh, I'm fine. Come to mention, where's your dear old chief of tourism? He hates even the mention of falling behind. Huh, true. Barely relate. Fretful wife. Is this the department for tourism? Who might you be? Oh, aren't you Ka's wife? Yes. Oh, wonderful. I found the right place. What's the matter? You look pale. Could you let me meet the Saintess? It's urgent business. What happened? Your headmate Char, aren't you? The one always by her side? Oh, thank you, Gander. It's about my spouse, you see. He has always hated the idea of my son studying abroad. My son doesn't like to back down either. He's been pulling the tuition fee together on his own, without my spouse knowing, so he can go still. Dang, the son is determined. I respect that. I'm soft at heart. He asked me to hide it from Khan, so I did. Sure, Gander knows how, but Khan found out anyway. He's off to the station now to catch the boy. He's a temperamental one, he is, but my boy's no less. If it has become a full-on fight, honestly, I don't know what I'll even do with myself. Char, could you please ask the Saintess to help us? She isn't staying atop Mount Carlin today. I'm afraid it'd be too late to find her there, even if I do go. Well, now what? Oh, it's all my fault. If I could just stop Ka for a second. Here, I'll go with you. What? One of my duties is standing in to split the Saintess's load, you know? In cases like this, I can deliver some words in the Saintess's name. Right, of course. All us townsfolk know how close you and her are. Madam Headmaid, I'm sure whatever you say would reach them. Well, wanna hurry then? I have to guess Ka's already at the station by now. Let's go. Oh, you wonder if she herself is Kjergander? Or Fragment like the sweet siblings? It'd be kind of funny if she did have siblings, little rocks. Little pebbles. Oh, but Kjergander, how do we find Ka in a station this busy?
I've told you and I've told you again. You have no thoughts of foreign schooling as long as I live and breathe.
That was easy. I think he saved us a search. Heavens, there's a crowd already. He'll be the laughingstock of the neighbors.
And I'll keep singing back. I'm going to the school, and that's final. Genuinely, it's beyond me where you got this malarkey about being advanced into your head. It would be beyond you. All you care about is your faith. Oops, no, I mean how to work your so-called faith to your own benefit. You shut your mouth! You sneak off to the station without telling your own father, and now the nerve to talk to me like this. Aren't you embarrassed enough? What, me? You're the embarrassing one, Chief Ka of Tourism. You horrid little...
I'm on the son's side. He just wants to get educated. Plus, he saved up all the money in his own. It's not like he stole Daddy's money. Or been like, Daddy, pay for my schooling. But no, he saved up his own money. Respect. Please, Char, anything quick. The meddled in Enya to handle these issues every single day. Let me see. Let me leave. Let me go back to she, who swore to split the Saintess' load, because I have a nice round slap to give her. I may as well say something or other, and you can take the rest after that. Char? Very well. Char's like, I don't want to deal with this. Ew.
So what? If you can't get what you want from Grandpa, you'll settle for making me in your image instead. You say that one more time! Do you know where Grandpa is right now? What? No. No, you don't. You've never understood him. I don't understand him. He doesn't understand me. For you telling yourself that, I'm not giving my whole life to the mountain weeds and rebel way he did. But I actually like Grandpa. I'll go and learn all that advanced stuff, and then I'll come back and help him. And once I do, he can polish Kjerag's claws that much faster and easier. I'm not like you, stepping on everything he's left behind, everything everyone before him left behind, just so you can climb up. You...
Sorry, can I just check who caused father? His Papson? Odd man. Spends all his years up in the mountains, hammering away. Rarely even comes home. They were always on awful terms when I married Ka. I like to get along with him, but I never found a chance. One time while drunk, Ka said that apparently my in-laws under the impression that he's doing Kjerag's fingernails, and that's why he stays up in the mountains all the time. So, what does Ka think? He says he'll never follow his Popson's example as long as he lives. Calls him a moron, saying he hasn't the first about faith. Well then. Char, where are you going? Did you say step in and help? I have someone better for the job. At least, maybe. Oh, she's gonna grab the grandpa. By one means or another, as they grow, most people of Kjerag come to know the names of the mountains that surround this place we call Kjerag. For one reason or another, they'll set foot into those mountains for themselves, but always the more well-known ones. The ones no one talks of, those are seldom intruded, even by the locals of the land. Yet the mountain's Char scales now is one of the unnoted. A peak so obscure it was never even named, a height you wouldn't assume anyone dwelt on. And if anyone else is on this mountain path at this moment, she might frankly be a little surprised. For a very similar reason, aside from the peaks Carlin Trade promotes for sightseeing, no mountain's paths could claim to be as smooth as this one's. No, even the most tourist magnet peaks struggle to have paths this pristine. Yes, pristine. The trees are trimmed, the grass seems to grow in its designated place, and there are no loose rocks to be found. It's practically a garden. Halfway up, a crisp clanking drifts down from on high. It's fast one moment, slow the next, reverberating through the valley, as if a giant sits in the pass hammering his weapon out. Char remembers the sound. When she reaches the summit, so too is the sound source revealed. Aww. He is no giant, and what he beats is no weapon at all. But a lone, wizened hunchback, chipping a hammer and chisel away at the prominent jut of stone. I wonder if the one protecting Sami is also like Char, in the fact that they're only like all-powerful in their domain. Maybe that's just how the ice ones be. The old man, his hammer and chisel, everything comes off dwarf compared to that stone. Not that he seems to mind, he simply carries on hammering, chiseling. Phew. For some reason, Char lets out which feels like a sigh of relief. And thereafter, she takes a set of spare tools from his side, draws next to the old man, and together with him, begins to chip away at the looming stone. He asks nothing, but Char says nothing. The silence is no awkward one, but instead brings on a kind of mutual understanding, one that defies words. Chisel then hammer, chisel then hammer. He remains silent and simply shuffles to the side, where from his rucksack he pulls a swig of water. After that, he takes out 2 lovingly parchment-wrapped green cakes and hands one of them over to Char. Ooh, yummy. Char hardly refuses, taking it. She sits down beside him and digs in. The old man wraps the other cake, meanwhile, and begins to devour it in great bites. What is it you're doing here?
What are you here for, if you don't know?
It looked like fun.
For generations, our family has done but one thing, and that is trimming Kjeragander's claws for her.
Claws? You mean the fingernails? He lifts his head and jabs a finger at those faraway peaks, the loftiest and most endless of them all. Then he points to their neighbors, a run of peaks that seem quite modest in comparison. I like how his head was nail tender.
Those ranging mountains are her back. All those little peaks that bulge up alongside them, those are her claws.
Well, isn't Kjeragander a woman? They're erecting a statue of her in the lake island right now.
That is the human form she takes to reach out to her people. That, yes, is Kjeragander. But these mountains too, these are Kjeragander. My ancestor witnessed it, the scene. There in the black rains was she, and cast forth divine might, and rose a shield to protect the people of Kjerag. And in the end, she was victorious, but paid a hefty price. Grateful for her protection, my ancestors sought to tend to her claws.
And so, that became your family tradition. If word of any of this got out, I worry the entire Vine-Bee court would trip head over heels to meet you.
I assume you came in my son's place, girl. Go and tell them I'll not give him what my forbears left behind.
I'm not your son's messenger. I just feel it's a shame. It seems like neither your son nor your grandson plan to take up your mantle. And yeah, black rain, not black snow.
Hammering away in the mountains is all I've known all my life. I did assume Ka would follow after me, just as I did after my papa. But before I even realized it, he became this way. I'm bad at words, and I had no idea what to do, so into the mountains I went to hide.
If I remember correctly, Ka turns 40 this year. His childhood was right when the last Silver Ash head, Olafur, came back from study abroad. You probably remember. That's when they started building these railroad, whatever you call it.
Yes.
But you probably didn't know that Olafur brought back more than technologies. He brought ideologies. His free thinking brought Kjerag into total dispute around then, and I have no doubts that out of all them all, it was the young who were the most easily impacted. I think it must have struck Ka deeply, but his family was generationally bound to tend to Kjeragander's nails. I can only imagine he found himself quite trapped. I can't know what thoughts he had after that, or what actions he took, but perhaps by thinking along those lines, you can figure out what made him the way he is now.
Damn me.
No, it's not your fault. You took on your hammer and chisel from your father, and your father took them from his father, all the way back to your ancestor. You've all been devoutly, wholeheartedly, doing what you had to do. What mistake was it that you ever made?
You see.
Your grandson says he plans to go and learn a few new things, all so that you can better polish Kjeragander's claws.
Noah, the boy, always visits me, but the things he gets for me, those communicating terminal sorts of machines, I don't understand them one bit.
Do you truly hate these new things?
I watch as they lay the railroad bit by bit from east to west, and I watch as they build their tall buildings bit by bit ever taller. If it was true that Kjeragander didn't like it, she would have but to roll over to shake it all off. I trust Kjeragander.
Well, keep trusting in her then. There's one thing I can promise you. If Kjeragander does roll over and get up from the mountains one day, then those fingernails you tended to will be the part of her that glitters most. Watching Char depart, her back turned, the old man is hit with a sudden sense of familiarity. For an age, he sifts through his mind, and finally he realizes her appearance is akin in ways to that of the figure passed down by his ancestor in tradition. The one who walked and saw a land of deep disaster, who walked and saw despair twined with grief, who walked and saw branches bud in the thawing frost, who walked and saw the warming sun, the one who brought hope to Kjerag. A shriek of bewilderment flashes through the old man's clouded eyes.
By Kjergander! By Kjergander!
He pulls a comms terminal from his grandson out of his pocket. Though he can't get used to it, he's made an effort to learn in order to make his grandson happy. In the terminal are saved 2 numbers. One is home, one is his grandson's. He calls the latter.
Noah, yes, it's me. Kaz there, isn't he? Tell him for me. I'll give him what he wants. But he must let you go. Yes, that's right. Good. Now give the terminal to him. I have to talk to him.
I'm glad the old man realized. He's like, wait a second. It's by Kjergander. Oh my, it was her. It's like, wow, she talked to me. You know, I'm gonna call my grandson. After just a few steps, without knowing why, Kjerag comes to a standstill. She lifts her head and looks to the mountain range afar. At some point, a strange stone has floated to her side. My, silly you. Could you imagine saying any of that back in those times? Kaz's faith, devout yet blind. Noah's drive, zestful yet reckless. And Dog, the type of human you once appreciated. How many nights you laid in the mountain's cradle, lulled to sleep with the sound of clinks and clanks. Silly you. You forgot how to be grateful and talked Dog's ear off to boot. Now you've done it. Who could like you after this? Kjerag cups the stone in her hands, her tone as if resentful at the person behind it, yet in some way as if looking in a mirror. The stone suddenly trembles and begins to sound. It is your voice. My, silly you. You still won't admit just how much you've changed ever since getting to know the girl. You have friends now, a birth now, wants now. As naturally as natural comes, you have a standpoint now. Isn't that the one thing you used to hate most? Didn't you always hope that Kjerags would go on to live with minds of their own? Wasn't keeping watch over them all you wanted to do? Silly you, and his family of Silverashes too, for tormenting you so. Babbling about hope, blabbing about the future, making a sorry fool out of you. The plateau's hoary winds sweep through the ranges, and on with the brush past her lobes to her ears. It is the sound of her laughing. A touch teasing, a touch mocking, a touch self-defeated, a touch helpless. Who is she laughing at? None but herself, of course. If you want to bring up friends, you're guilty of making some yourself back then. If you want to bring up relationships, you've never once been able to stop yourself getting involved. You want to help, yet you tell me I shouldn't lay a finger. You feel they're wrong, yet you think they should arrive at their own judgments. Silly you, can you honestly not tell why she was the one? Is she so special that she'd stand alone for an eon before and after? Or just, plain and simple, she's done for you what you always wanted? Char, where are you? You'd have no idea even if I told you. I'll take that. I heard you showed yourself and solved a little issue for me. Oh my, word does get around to you fast, Saintess. I don't care to hear, but they keep insisting I do anyway. Huh? Tell me, what's on your mind, Saintess? How are you feeling about my question from before? What question? Your dinner tonight? Char, I'm not asking as a joke. The appointment? Victoria's about to send their people here. Oh, this is right before Enya's story. Interesting. Once they arrive, I want her not to get involved no matter what happens. It's not the time for her to act yet, is it? No. If we can't even make it through this little crisis ourselves, well, I'll just go and dive into Lake Sober Nehers, eh? Good grief, you really put your brother's stubbornness to shame at times, you know? And thank you for saying that. Will you be back at the Vine Court tonight? I'm on my way back now. I have your dinner to make, Saintess. I can't be dilly-dallying. Just a hunch, but are you in a good mood? Is it obvious to you? Chara's conversation with the little stone kind of reminds me of our slime sarcasm. After how long we've known each other, of course. It's nothing much. Just saw nice weather today and went for a little walk. Good evening. Good evening. My, silly me. A laugh like bells takes to the wind. And on with brush after brush past the mountaintops. This time, it's her laughing. She lingers no longer and sets off for Mount Carlon. It's time she got home. There's work waiting for her. All she cares about. In the woolen of snow. Oh! Interesting how hers is also making something. More arts and crafts. To her, they return a distant and long-lost feeling. And the air flowed and flowed together into wind, and wind came forth in great gusts and rolled over to her shoulders and her back. And through the interstices of her fingers, howling as it did, to the people of Kjerag, this wind would be felt a colder one. The wind's house turned to chaos, its tight shrieks ushered to fray by words of somnolence. As the song rent and shattered over a million risings and settings of the sun and flew about her forever. So the chatter grew and grew in the air, till it reached out with a black thorn, and a black raindrop hung upon the thorn's tip, and it seemed that it would fall to the land, and fall betwixt the mountains and the trees, and see that the mountains and the trees would become of its likeness. It was cacophony, and it was infinitely hostile, and it heeded no disobedience. This was danger. So she thought to stir, yet she found it now took considerable energy, which it had not done before. Thereupon she forged into the snow of a million suns, and she sought as if seeking the tail of a thread-made cloth, and about her finger would a tail of this thread, and so the air changed in its flow, and the snow flew into the air by her will, and thus was woven a curtain of it, and she put this curtain to the black rain, and drove it from the land at her feet, in a manner she had done countless times before. Char, Char? Through the curtain of wind and snow, a soft calling breaks and reaches her ears again. Char snaps out of her brief daze, half-woven cloth nestled in her lap. She finds her needle still in one hand, yet the tail of her thread fallen from the other, back into the pile. I'm sorry, Saintess. I believe my mind wandered. This is her third day learning weaving from the Saintess. The chamber of the Vine-Beak Court therein is hung with tapestries woven by Enya's own hand. For Enya, pursuing textiles is just another part of her spiritual devotions. Oh, I see. Perhaps I'm teaching a little too fast for you? Sat face to face with Char, there's absolutely no blame in Enya's words, her face almost twisted with humble apology. She holds her own needle and wound thread, with a cloth much like Char's draped over a crook in her arm. But hers is far more complete. It seems far more beautiful. I wouldn't say that. Certainly, easier to follow than your recitations of the scriptures. Hearing that, Enya smiles as she reaches into the wool pile, picks out a loose tail, and hands it back to Char. If the statue represents Kjerag's human form to visit upon the mortal realm, then you wonder what kind of form she has in her original form? Like, she must be giant. I'm just imagining her as a giant, like, almost like a golem. If the mountains is part of her body. Though, like, we've seen some of the ancient creatures inside of the Arknights world. They look intense. So I imagine her being intense too. Which is pretty exciting. Though I do like her human form as well. Hearing that, Enya smiles and, as she reaches into the wool pile, picks out a loose tail and hands it back to Char. And yet, I hardly leave you so lost in thought when I recite. Char takes up the tail, the warmth of Enya's intent lingering at her fingertips. She'll be finishing this cloth. It strikes me, Saintess, that your stitch and her stitch of the blizzard might be in some ways not so different. And the blizzard whips up outside the window, almost hard enough to stir the tapestries inside. To her, there returns a close and longed-for feeling. Their relationship is sweet. And now for Aurora. Basic info, codename Aurora. Gender female, combat experience 1 year. Place of birth Kjerag. Date of birth December 20. Race Ursus. Height 169 centimeters. Infection status confirmed infected by medical examination. Physical exam, physical strength standard, mobility normal, physical resilience excellent, tactical acumen standard, combat skill standard, originium assimilation normal. Profile: Aurora, born in Kjerag, studied in Colombia on a grant from the Silver Ash family after graduating from secondary school, specializing in defense engineering in extreme snowfield environments. Wow, I didn't know Silver Ash guys gave her a grant. Cut her studies short due to, unfortunately, contracting erbithy, and came to seek treatment at Rose Island. Following examination, simultaneously serves as both an engineering operator and operation team member, active on all manner of assignments, both abroad and away from the landship. Yes, a golem with the most fashionable nails there is. The part that glitters the most. Everyone else would be so jealous. Clinical analysis, imaging tests showed the indistinct outlines of internal organs, obscured by abnormal shadows. Originium granules detected in the circulatory system. The subject is confirmed to be infected with erbithy. Cell originium assimilation, 7%. Trend of localized crystallization to Operator Aurora's lungs. Blood originium crystal density, 0.27. Operator Aurora was infected with erbithy in a catastrophic originium hail in the far northern tundra. This disaster led to infection in a fifth of the expedition team, but by local rescue team's estimates, infection rate would have ordinarily reached 3/4 or even higher. Coupled with Operator Aurora's state of infection, she and some of her team very likely stood outermost, bracing the defensive structures and protected the others. Silence. Archive File 1, Weapon Evaluation. Aurora designed and built her armament, giving it a certain uniqueness from appearance to functionality. Uncommon metals from Kjerag form the primary bulk of the shield's material composition, with a combination of hardness and toughness, able to withstand a common catastrophic battering of medium intensity, as well as exceptional resistance to cracking in ultra-low temperature environments. The surface has additional Colombian cutting-edge lab-developed anti-corrosive insulative coating, ensuring that in exposure to originium-dense surroundings, the shield and related equipment still operate steadily. The shield also incorporates small-scale pile driver functionality, convenient for quickly pitching camp in ice-filled environments. After Aurora suspended her northern expedition work and joined Rhodes Island, she modified the pile drivers into their present state of freely retractable stakes. As seen in her performance in actual combat, these steel stakes can instantly pierce a vast majority of everyday surfaces, increasing the load-bearing ability of the shield to close to 280%. Another set of components attached to the shield's lower half is the artificial snowfaller. This installation doesn't affect the local climate in the true sense. Its actual function is close to a conductor channel, assisting Aurora's originimarts, rapidly dropping the temperature within a 3 m range of the front of the shield. Most enemies are unable to bear such extreme cold, but to Aurora, born in a snowy region, the ice crystals that form in the air aren't just harmless to her, but let her feel the warmth of her home. Supplement: after witnessing Aurora's modification of her equipment, we very much admired her. She doesn't just have a firm knowledge of engineering and ingenuity for planning, but a formidable and hopeful heart on top of it. When a healthy, robust person catches erbithy in a sudden accident, changing their life's course, and even if they aren't discouraged by it, they often require a period to adjust mentally and accept themselves, adapting to a whole new life. Aurora, however, leapt past this step. She turned up at Rhodes Island immediately after her infection, joined the engineering department, spent a month talking things out with us, settled her plans, made prototypes, adjusted, officially began work, and little by little, turned this originally northern exploration gear into a weapon of remarkable performance. Soon after, she took part in an immediate evaluation and became a deploy operator. All throughout, she never hesitated and never rested, just as if her illness didn't affect her in the slightest. Whether in work or in life, Aurora gave 100% of her energy, and after becoming infected, she chose to give 200. Probably because, well, they mentioned earlier inside of Kjerag, they're not as mean to people with erypathy. Plus, like, look at her, no wonder why the Silver Ash family gave her a grant for education. She is so determined. Even after catching erypathy, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna continue my research. I'll go to Rhodes Island and then work here. So good job, Aurora. Archipel 2. Aurora was born in Kjerag's lake region, practically spending her entire childhood on the ice. She played games of build a house with her big brother and neighbors. They would first dig out a thin chunk of ice, cut it into rectangular bricks, and then build a small house on another part of the ice. It's certainly not easy for children to do, and they typically worked away at it from dawn to dusk. The final house would only fit 3 or 4 people, and there'd be no roof. While inside, one would simply have to look up to see the clear night sky that blanketed Kjerag. They sit in a circle, counting stars and cooking a fragrant, piping hot fondue. Once the fire burned out, the children would each go home. They didn't care if their little house might be knocked down tomorrow by the grown-ups fishing, because before long, they built another one. This life didn't last for very long at all. While your families moved to Silver Ash territory, Aurora had to leave her playmates behind without a goodbye. Soon after, her brother, who'd accompanied her day and night, went with her father into the mountain mines to work. Aurora missed her brother greatly, and ultimately, she followed him and her father one day in secret, wanting to see just what the place they worked in was like. Sadly, she quickly got lost in the bleak white of the snowy mountains. By her account, she didn't remember how long she was out there for. It may have been 3 to 4 days, perhaps 7 to 8. In the end, her brother found her in a little house she'd built out of snow. She clung to her brother's back on the descent, faint and dazed, listening to her brother tell her about the advanced machines that ran all through the night in the mines, about the future they saw as a youth in these snowy mountains. At the time, Aurora couldn't make sense of a lot of what he said, but the words never left her. Some years later, after graduating from secondary school, she applied first thing to the Silver Ash's talent program. She wanted to take a step ahead of her brother, travel out of Kjerag, and look back at the snowcaps from even further away. To this day, there's still a little house inside of her heart, but she hopes it'll let her build even greater ones by her own hands, so that it won't just fit her brother, mother, and father, but that one day it may even become a firm fortress built for all Kjerag to withstand the raids from afar and the coming snowstorms. I want to meet her brother. Archipel 3. In Kjerag legend, the Rainbow Aurora is a sign of the Divine's awakening. Because of this, like many Kjerag children, Aurora looked forward to seeing her own first Aurora. During her first time in Kjerag, the wish never became reality. Afterwards, she left the country, arriving at an engineering college in Ironforge City, Colombia. After hearing her wishes, her classmate amicably yet carefully reminded her that with Kjerag's geographical situation, it would be far from easy to see the aurora above the mountains. If she wanted to see one, she'd need to head all the way north of Kusabi. Aurora herself was very aware of this, and afterwards took the initiative to sign up to a school-organized northern icefield exploration team. Finally, on this exercise, her dream would be fulfilled. In that moment, more than beautiful or magical, what Aurora felt most deeply was how exciting it was. So the things she'd yearned for could come true all along, though it had nothing to do with Kjergander. I came out here with my own 2 legs, and so I saw it. Aurora hasn't revealed what was on her mind then, save for that she'd been carrying the whole time in her toolbox a well-worn copy of Kjerag, but we can tell that her desire to see the Aurora had changed somewhat compared to its original form in her childhood. To this day, Aurora still hopes that she can see it again, even as many more Auroras as she can. This in spite of her accidental infection cutting off that journey of exploration midway. At present, she's far from the ice fields, far from school, and doesn't know when she can return to Kjerag. But she still hasn't given up. Supplement. After learning about Aurora's wish, we introduced her to Magellan. Magellan enthusiastically invited Aurora to join her the next time she went on an exploration mission in the ice fields. The following request may be somewhat presumptuous, though unknown when this next journey may ever take place. If Aurora submits an application to you, we hope that you'll take into account how rare her requests for leave are and approve it. Archive File 4. If you have to go to Kjerag, take Aurora from the Sharp Squad with you. Yes, like other Kjerag operators, she works for the Silver Ashes. Those from conservative families ordinarily wouldn't leave Kjerag, let alone study abroad in Colombia. And that's why they so rarely come to contact with Rhodes Island, but she used to live in the Pelrocious territory. What this means is that she has a great familiarity with both the lake and the mountain terrain. We need to be prepared for the conflict that may arise. An operator who knows both sides' positions and situations. Well, who can provide our squad with more comprehensive information, will raise our chances of a safe retreat from any danger. Additionally, I'm willing to trust her. I'm not doubting Operator Cliffheart or any other operators from Carlin Trade or the Silver Ash territory. However, in case Rose Island and Silver Ash's standpoints diverge, they'll have to make choices. I wouldn't entrust her hopes to such unsure decisions. But Operator Aurora is somewhat different. You can gauge her files and her conduct in training and practical combat. She won't fight for Pelroche, nor will she wield arms against the conservatives for Silver Ash. In other words, her objective is the same as Rose Island. We both want the situation in Kjerag stabilized. In the end, there may be a day she can return to fight for Kjerag, but on this occasion, I trust she'll stand on our side. Conversation between Doberman and the doctor prior to heading for the Snow Realm. Motion record. Have you ever seen Aurora get into a fight? I mean, when she puts down her shield, doesn't use any weapons, just barehanded punching until the last of her strength is gone, that kind. Ooh, a good old punch out. The day she left Kjerag, she fought just like that with our dad. He liked the mines, like Sir Silver Ash, and didn't like the lands outside. Couldn't say whether I liked them or not. But unlike Aurora, I'm used to the ice and snow. I can't stand how hot the air is in other places. Aurora's different. She's been like that since she was young. Big guts, has this particular focus, and doesn't like changing what she's sure about. She stood in front of our dad, whipped out that application with everything filled in, and wouldn't drop it no matter what he told her off for. Still he went. If you can knock me out, I'll let you go. In the end, Aurora went. I was the one carrying her there, of course. I'm her brother. I couldn't stand her crawling there, all battered, to hand the foreman. You're right, she looks very gentle, but she's still an Ursus of the Snow Mountains. I love the thought of her beating up her dad. I wonder what brother was thinking. He's like, oh gosh, dad and sister, Well, sister won, so I'm gonna go carry her down the mountains. Good job, sis. I wonder what it was like nursing dad back to health. What she saw. Dang, Aurora, I did not expect that out of you. I know, right? I can only imagine their mother now. What she saw. Aurora looks up at the sky, but the sky has no fantastic aurora for her. Aurora looks down at her feet and sees herself standing firm in place, protecting herself and the friends behind her. Ooh, it's probably gonna be when she got infected. Alrighty. Or maybe not. Have you started packing your gear, Aurora? Yeah, we finished organizing the samples and testing materials, right? Starting preparations today will make things much smoother for going back tomorrow. Well, I've got a new proposal. We actually have some room on the schedule, and it happens to be Aurora season. How about we push the return trip back a couple of days? Really? Of course, pushing it back 2 days will put us right on schedule. I want to do something for my assistant surveyor, who helped me so much on this trip. I'm just doing my job, Maggie. I wouldn't have accepted the offer if I didn't think there was something I could help with. So we're good on this? We'll stay 2 days and then we'll head back if we still don't see the aurora. Thanks, Maggie. Can I ask a favor? Of course. I want to use these 2 days to continue testing the new defensive shield. Can I use the camera drone to record the testing? I have a camera module on my own shield, but it can't run autonomously. The shield's originium circuits aren't fully stable either, and it's safer to have a drone record from a distance than to have a person operate the camera. Yeah, it's a strong physicality despite their appearances. Yeah, I wonder how tiny she was when she knocked out her dad. Oh, it'd be funny if her dad was something else instead of Ursus. Sure, I'll show you how to set it up. Alright, I'm gonna go further away because it might get loud. Be sure to holler if there's a problem. Okay. And there I was thinking, I was giving her 2 days off. 2 days of rest. She was always running ahead when we were looking for samples. She may be Ursus, but she's patient too. And she keeps talking about the shield. Is that wind? Tall dark clouds with indistinct edges. That's... Aurora! Aurora! Maggie, get into protective gear. Welp. I've seen these clouds before. Could be an originium hell. Get behind me. Stay behind the barriers and put on protective gear. We already have injured students. There's originium in the hell. Be careful. Laura, your shoulder. I'll take over the barrier. Get back, Laura. You've been hit by originium hell. You... Well, I guess we gotta see the moment. Hello, hello. Stay behind me, Maggie. I've been through this kind of originium hell before. The risk of infection is very high. Make sure you keep that protective suit tight around you. Is your suit on, Maggie? Help me with mine after you're done. I'm done. Listen, Aurora, I've encountered this stuff before. Let's go back and use those rocks for cover. We won't last 5 minutes out in the open. But I won't be able to protect you properly on the move. But you'll definitely get hurt in the open. I have experience with these things. I can take care of myself, don't... Watch your leg. The strap on your suit is loose. I'll protect you, Maggie. We'll go, but I'll carry you. Curl up and stand near my shield. I can run by myself. I'm not afraid of the hell. I'm worried that you... Are all ours so strong? If you try to carry me, you'll... Uppies. Uppies for Maggie. Aurora. We're here, safe and sound. Are you crazy? Let me check your suit. 1 second, Maggie. I want to get the barrier set up by the rock. I'm not sure we can keep it up by ourselves. Alright, you talk first. I'm definitely gonna check though. We'll need a new plan if there's the slightest hint of gap. Do you need the drone for anything? Absolutely no gaps in between the rocks and the shield where the hell might come through. It's so cramped in here, there'll be no room to dodge. Looks like we'll need to submit another modification application when we get back. We'll need portable equipment to set up protection quickly, away from well-supplied bases without having to rely on individual aptitude and reactions. We're lucky that there are suitable rocks nearby. Oh, and I brought the camera drone that you lent me too. Drone, just leave stuff like that in an emergency. Get yourself to safety first. I know. Been trying to kill the first boss in Enfield while skipping its phase change animation. Good luck. What is it, Aurora? Why did you suddenly go quiet? Something's not right, Maggie. Move over a little. Let me look outside. Magellan pokes her head out from behind Aurora and peeks through a crack. The sun has been completely blocked out by the dark clouds, while uranium-filled hail blasts at the shield from all directions, surrounding it and the pair behind it. The wind rushes at the filter of the protective mask, and the mixture of sleet makes it almost impossible to breathe. Ice shards cut through Aurora's gloves, but she continues to grab the shield tightly. Ouch. My shield won't last long. It wasn't designed to protect against Originium events. Most of my equipment is back at the base. The hell shouldn't last too long. Leave the drones outside. They can help clear up some of it. I think we'll make it. I move the shield inwards a little bit more. Right now, it's putting too much of a burden on you. It's hard for me to apply any force. I have two plans, Maggie. Plan A, you stay here with the shield while I go back to the base and come back with proper barriers. You'll be absolutely safe here. Plan B, I'll change the shield to the prototype that I'm still testing, but it might... Plan B. If you want to charge out by yourself because I'm not infected, I'll be coming with you no matter what because I'm not accepting that kind of help. You stay here. I have an idea. Even if the prototype doesn't work, we can move along the rocks and try to find a hollow space to hide in. Don't try to carry everything on your shoulders. Aurora reaches for the prototype shield. She began developing its Originium circuit while she was still at Ironforge Polytechnic. She wanted to return to Kjerag with a breakthrough in defensive technology. She went to great lengths to be able to go out to the world outside, even getting into a fight with her father. Oh, we get to see the dad.
Why do you insist on going out there, Laura? There are machines in the mines. You can work under Ensiotis. Kjerag will protect Kjerag and his people. Why won't you work for the future with me and your brother in the mines?
I believe in Kjerag, but I don't want to see the names of other countries on the machines we use in the mines. I want the name of Kjerag on them. Are we gonna see brother too, or no? I want to see brother. Aurora, get back. Your suit is broken. Why do you insist on being in front? Because you think you can? It's a catastrophe. You might be infected already. Leave the barrier to me. I'm in better shape than you are. No, I'm staying here. I designed the barrier. I know how to use it best. Since I'm already hurt, I should be the one standing in front to protect the ones who aren't hurt. The Originium in Aurora's body aches. The hail that fell upon the ice and upon Aurora, Null falls before her. She recalls a letter from her parents after they learned about her infection, the igloo that she built with her friends, and Ensiotis' staffing proposal, trains rushing by, and the high rises of Columbia. Ooh. Oh, they actually said in Enfield, so it's more... Huh, so they say it Kjerag. The K does not exist. Outside the base, the hail presses on. She can smell it through her mask. Aurora asks herself, am I afraid? I'm afraid my life will change because of this. I'm afraid that my parents will worry about me. But I'm also afraid that I won't be able to do what I could have. The shield is right behind her. The circuit on its back is still unfinished because of her condition. It is what she had longed to accomplish, her long-time dream, what keeps her standing up front, each and every time. The hail is getting fiercer and she feels Magellan's hands frantically trying to help support the barrier. Aurora raises the prototype shield. Aurora? You can't run so much eyes at the same time. It'll overload you. It won't, Maggie. I want to try it. I developed this shield to protect my home and the people around me. This is what it's made for, and this is the time to give it my all. I became infected with neuropathy because I couldn't do enough. I won't let it happen again. I don't want to disappoint you, disappoint anybody else, or disappoint myself. This is my choice, and I'll see it through. How can I talk to you? How can I talk about protecting all of your egg if I can't even protect you, here and now? You've got the experience, Maggie. Tell me what to do to protect both of us once it's activated. Activating drone offensive module. Move over, little Aurora. Listen to my cue once it's activated, and I'll blast the hell away. Nice duo. How are you feeling, Aurora? We're the supply station that we left from, located where the Barrens meet the ice fields. You passed out right after the hail ended. The prototype shield was damaged, but I knew you wouldn't throw it away, so I brought it here after cleaning it up. Are you hurt, Maggie? No infections or anything? No infections, just a couple of flesh wounds. Phew, I thought I had to... You thought you had to shield me with your torso? That's what your body language said. Protecting yourself is always a priority on the ice fields. You need to keep yourself safe in order to keep others safe. Maggie, You want to see your shield, right? Here. All cleaned up and wrapped up. No. Maggie, Catastrophes are avoidable, right? Not saying that we can stop them from happening, but if we had operated according to plan, we would have been back at base, going through the supplies in safety, while watching the hell fall outside. Aurora, I knew you'd think that way. Irregular events are regularity. We do research this far north. I've encountered blizzards that kept me in an ice hole for 5 full days. I've encountered avalanches that buried all my drones. And don't get me started on invisible cracks and glaciers. The north doesn't change for anybody. We get what we want from it on our own, and pay the appropriate price. A few months of solitude, or some kind of injury. This is what we deal with all the time. The north doesn't cause a catastrophe just because you decide to delay a few days. It does what it wants, and we just happen to run into it. Don't blame yourself. Well, I want to let you see the aurora with your own eyes. Magellan takes out a heavily damaged drone. Its camera module is connected to the data cable, and the screen is showing an intermittent video recording. The little corner of the sky visible from the edge of the shield is obscured by clouds and hail. Then, a single ray of light shines through. Like a veil of silk, it slowly begins to cover the clouds. It's at that time that Aurora lowers her head, and the shield's originium circuit glows a bright blue, indicating overload. Aurora presses at the barrier, forming an impregnable line of defense. As originium and hail bounce off the shield, the sky shines brightly with a myriad of colors. I saw this recording when I was taking stock of the remaining supplies. The drone's camera kept running, showing that we actually encountered the aurora that you wanted to see. But it was me who proposed that we stay 2 more days, Aurora. I know the north better than you do, and I know better than what we're dealing with here. That's why I wanted to wait until you saw the aurora with your own eyes. Maggie, my goal has always been to achieve what I wanted under my own strength and hard work. What I care about is that I managed to protect ourselves from the hell, and that you haven't been infected. And I completed the project I've been waiting on for so long. Now I can tell my parents and siblings that I never stopped trying. Even with my illness, I cheat a lot, and I'm gradually realizing my dream. And I can tell myself that I made the right choice. It's not about seeing the aurora, it's about successfully accomplishing these things. That's why this video is even more precious to me than seeing the aurora with my own eyes. Look here, Maggie. Aurora excitedly adjusts the playback bar until it stops at a particular frame. Magellan is stretching out her arms, supporting Aurora's body, while drone flies above the shield under her command. Look, the drone didn't just record me supporting the defenses. It caught you on the camera too. We're in the shot together, under the aurora. I love this recording so much. This is a great mission. I wonder if she'll frame it. Dear Laura, the data you sent back has been received. The mines are planning to employ the new technology in mining equipment. Dad and I received the photo as well. I'm putting it up with the Kjeragander so I can see you working hard every day. So she did frame it. Dad made some heat-to-eat cheese fondue packs for you. They'll last a long time. We're always worried about you, but we support you and we're proud of you. Your life is your own. We'll be here waiting for your good news. Maggie, where are you? I've been thinking about the next expedition, and I've been working with engineering to come up with a draft for the new equipment that I want to make. I have a few other operators here who are interested. Let's talk things over. Coming. It's nice to see those two get along well. Oh, sweet. I'll save Harold for next time because I have some time to farm. Ehehehe. I think I'm fighting dragons. At least I think it's a 2-hour gap for the daily stuff at least. I just wish it started earlier. Gosh darn it. The fact that these special daily fights don't show up at the same time every day kind of throws me off. Like, sometimes it starts at 6 p.m. for me, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's... I don't even know. Like, sheesh. Maybe it's not fair much just to have that kind of tether. Like, they're the most mysterious right now. Man, though, out of today's operators, the one who wins is Aurora. I did not expect her to have a fist fight with her dad. Little Aurora beating up her dad and winning. That is a funny thought. Plus, I like her dedication to protecting others. That's very sweet. No wonder why she's a shielder. It makes perfect sense. Oh yeah, there's your module too. But yeah, she still wins. Shield photography module. Maggie, I got your pictures, thank you. The aurora is so pretty, so... stunning. Sorry, I couldn't find better words. I saw the other material you sent back from Rose Islands too. That little yellow flower. I never knew flowers that pretty could grow in the extreme north. All the way to in the ice deserts. It's unbelievable, really. You suggested I should join the next exploration project as a supporting surveyor, right? I've given serious thought to it. Now, whether to go or not, I still have to stay in the landship at this stage so I can get earthly treatment. It's what help I would be if I did go. Mayor said how, under extreme cold conditions, your soaring dragon drones get their stability affected. I minored in research filming when I was studying at Ironforge Polytechnic, so I tried installing a set of production lenses on my shield so I could handle photography and data storage roles at certain temperatures. I should be able to take my shield through more special terrain compared to using drones, and use it for fundamental defense work. It can sort out the issue of stability too. Maggie, I admire you with all my heart. While everyone only has the barest imagining of what such faraway places are like, you've gone deep into them, got a taste of all this fascinating scenery, felt the pulse of life. I once went with a survey group into the northern ice fields and saw the aurora, and that was when I learned a really important lesson in life. Not every place has snowy peaks like Kjerag and protection like Kjerganders, but every place has its own beauty you can't explain with common sense. The black flow forests, the ringed plains with mountains all around. All these extreme landscapes have nothing to do with the supernatural, really. They're part of Terra in themselves. I can't help but wonder just how shallow and narrow everything we know and hear and think and believe about this great land is. I want to see the aurora again more than anything else. I want to go and see the ice deserts, not so I can prove anything, just because, well, I want to go and see. Master Silverash is right. If we want to protect Kjerag, we have to know just what kind of world it is we live in. We can only better defend the homeland behind us if we're brave enough to explore onward. And besides, I have this sort of feeling like the ice deserts, the poles, and all the places full of hidden secrets far away already have a lot of eyes watching them. So once I'm ready, Maggie, you can be sure I'll submit my application to the doctor. I eat a little bigger and I sleep more as well. But you don't need to worry, I promise. When it comes to work time, I'll get down to it. Believe me, I'm sure I'll be able to help you out. Extract from comms log sent to Operator Magellan for Operator Aurora. I like that, sweet. It could be an in-between. Yeah, ice desert. Of all the places in ice desert. Man, these two are wholesome. I like their friendship, Aurora and Magellan. They're cute. I appreciate them. Aurora wins for tonight. And the one I'm most excited for next time is Harold. Harold. He's gonna be interesting. So yay for the prep. Almost done with the prep streams. And I'm excited for the next event. Yeah, for me it's Aurora. Aurora was surprisingly wholesome yet feisty, which I appreciate. Like, she's fun. I like her. But yay, now I have some time to farm inside of FGO before the daily ends. So I'll switch over to Bat. I gotta be good for the event. I need so much points for Sojiro, guys. Ugh, point-based events hurt. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day at the Gacha Luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Woohoo! At least I think it's a 2-hour window, and if not, oops, my bad. It should be 2 hours though, I believe.